What to do if you find out your spouse was cheating on you. My name is Marina Shepelsky. I'm a New York and New Jersey divorce attorney, but this channel, it goes beyond divorce. It talks about relationships. It talks about cheating. It talks about dating. In today's topic, we focus on cheating. If you find out your spouse or your significant other was cheating on you, what to do, how to react. First of all, I think it's a good idea not to react like spontaneously. You need to first find out all the details and confront your spouse with this information. Talk to them. Ask them what happened. You want to hear their side of the story. No matter what it is, no matter what they're planning or will tell you, you need to speak to them first because you are in the relationship and you had trust, and not everything is always as it seems. Maybe they didn't cheat on you. Maybe something else had happened. But if in fact you find out they did cheat and it was confirmed and you understand that that's what happened, you should talk to them first. After you speak to them, you think how you feel about it. Don't worry about what the children will think, although of course it's important. I'm just saying in that moment when it's still so new and fresh, don't worry about what anybody thinks. Do not feel ashamed. That's a common thing I hear from my clients and from my friends who've been cheated on. They feel ashamed. They feel guilty, like they are to blame, like it's something that's their fault and they should be ashamed, like that society might think that you're less than because your spouse cheated on you. Your spouse's cheating is mostly about them cheating. They made that decision. They broke the trust. If you had an agreement that you would be exclusive, it's not like an open relationship or an open marriage. And I guess it's important to talk about whether it was just physical or do you feel like they cheated on you emotionally, like they had an emotional affair. I had a friend that used to have a corporate job and she was married, and she told me that she had somebody at her job who was a colleague, and they talked every day and saw each other every day, and they went to lunch together all the time, and they always had their own little meetings after corporate company meetings. And eventually she started to feel like she was in love with him, even though they never kissed or held hands and nothing sexual or physical had ever happened. I still think that is cheating. When you have feelings for someone and you have such an intimate friendship with somebody, and you consider that, somebody who's like your love interest, but maybe it just hasn't completed itself all the way to a physical act yet, that's cheating. And the man who went to a bar and got drunk and slept with somebody and he'll never see her again, she didn't mean anything to him, I'm quoting, that's also cheating. It's different, but it's also cheating. So you should think about what type of cheating was this, what agreement they broke, what trust they broke, and you should definitely get a therapist. Before you tell friends and family, in the situation where you've been cheated on, you should think of yourself first. I think it's a good idea to talk to a therapist, walk through your feelings. This is a situation where you think of yourself first. Just like they tell you in the airplane, if there's an oxygen deprivation situation and those yellow masks fall from the ceiling of the plane, the adult has to put on the mask first before they take care of the kids or somebody who's disabled or something like that next to you. You should think about how to make yourself better immediately, in that time and place, how to take care of yourself. This is not the time to be talking to your kids about this. Never make your children, especially when they're young, your confidants for things like that. Marriage issues are not to be discussed with your kids, and don't try to make them take sides and say your dad or your mom is a piece of whatever. They cheated on me, they cheated on you. Take this outside, as I would say. Talk to a therapist first. If you have a close friend that you trust and she or he will not tell people what happened, talk to your spouse or whatever, it's also not a bad idea. And eventually you will get to the place after you talk to a therapist first where you want to share this information, if you feel like sharing, with people in your circle. But I think when you just find out, it's a great idea to schedule an appointment with a good therapist and start talking this through. And I'm not blaming you as the person who was cheated on, but it's also a good idea to think about what was broken in your relationship that led to this. Maybe you've seen the signs for a long time, but you chose to ignore them. And your relationship just became broken, and eventually they cheated, or they cheated before and you just found out for the first time, like it was in your face for the first time. Maybe you haven't talked or had sex in years. And again, I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying it's a fact, and now you have to face it as part of your recovery from this. You should think about how this makes you feel. How do you feel? And you should have the conversation with your spouse saying, what you did, cheating on me, makes me feel like this. For some people, after that, couples counseling is a good idea. And you have to do the work to think about whether you are choosing to stay in this marriage or not. And if you are choosing to stay, why? And you have to have multiple conversations with your spouse about how the rules have changed, how you will work back to getting their trust back again, if you choose to stay. If you just decide not to stay, it's probably a good idea to talk to an attorney and think about divorce and what your rights and obligations are. Like, what are you entitled to? Property, alimony, child support, and what you will need to do or, change. About the marital home, if you need to sell it, who's staying, are the kids moving. All these things should be talked about with an attorney if you do decide to get divorced. It's probably not a bad idea to talk to a divorce attorney, even if you decide you're not getting divorced. Because in a lot of situations, people who at first decide to stay and work things through still end up long-term getting divorced. Because let's face it, cheating is a major misdeed in a relationship. It's really a break of a trust, and in many ways it's an end to the relationship of how you thought it was before. As far as getting a divorce lawyer, maybe you can even talk to a couple of people, find the one that's on your team. I personally advocate for like a collaborative divorce where people don't create like a war and deal with the fact that cheating happened. It happened. It's a fact. There's no avoiding it. And now we just do the best we can and do things by law in the most fair way possible. And that's a good attitude. I don't think it's a good idea to look for a war and try to get back or have revenge on the cheating spouse, because all it will do is make you upset and destroy you and create problems for you, put you in the position where like you have to get your hands dirty to get back at them, right? So don't try to like go and cheat back so that you're even. Don't try to, punish your spouse by cheating on them or like taking some other weird revenge on them. It's not a good idea. It happened. You have to deal with it. It's not easy. It's never easy. Give yourself a break and understand that it's going to take time for you to get through it, to get over it, to stop thinking about it all the time and start focusing on other things. It's going to take time. That's okay. So that's all I'm going to say on the topic. I hope this was helpful. Take care and become a subscriber to our channel. Stick around for more videos like this. Bye-bye.